So,
hello.
hi.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You guys, this is so awkward. Is the book we were supposed to read for today.
Yeah.
And I read That Was So Awkward. Right? That's what I just said when I looked at the book?
Yes, that was so awkward.
Okay, so I loved the book that I read, but I was like saying to Vanessa on the way to the gym the other day, I was like, yeah, I really thought this book was going to be more like how to talk to your kids. And she's like, well, it is. And I was like, well, it's more a story. And then we just left it at that. Today, Vanessa's writing her notes, and I'm like looking through her book, like, oh, let me see the parts. Because some of the books, when we read them, it's like different in the audiobook.
Mhm.
Like, Worthy had more in the audiobook than it did in the book. And she has like her whole workbook and all that stuff. So Vanessa and I are talking, and we realize I read the wrong book. I bought a 6-hour book. And this book I just now added to my Audible shopping cart so we can do an episode next week for you.
Yeah.
It's 13 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, this is awkward. So
Yeah.
we're just going to talk about her book.
I look too cute if you're on YouTube not to do a video.
And I did not, because I was definitely ill yesterday. So I'm just getting back. I had food poisoning yesterday. So dealing with that, not being able to do anything on the most beautiful day, it really sucked. But here we are today. I feel great today.
We might go to the beach. Cross your fingers. Vanessa comes with me.
I have to talk to my kids.
But I was like saying to her, well, we were talking about some stuff a little bit at the gym. And
and then we were on the way home, and then you were talking about it.
It kind of overlaps a little.
And sometimes, and I was like, it does. But I didn't push too far because maybe I was crabby that day. You know how some mornings we're just like...
It is 4:30 and we don't always get to bed on time.
Right? So we're just like, you don't want to poke the bear. Like, it is what it is. So we kind of just shut each other down, I feel like. Or just like over it, right?
Well, when you're like, well, it does talk about how to talk to your kids. And I was like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So then I was like, am I not far enough along? Like, does the audiobook like tell the story and at the end say how to talk to your kids? Or...
Well, and then I was thinking, like, I don't really know what stories you're talking about, because it's not really a story. I mean, there are like snippets of people talking about their experiences, but I was like, I don't know, maybe that's their story. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't just like bullet pointed for you that...
Well, and the thing is, like, when Josh and I watch documentaries, we have, like, completely different takeaways. So when I was calling it a story and you said it's not really a story, I was like, oh, okay, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the book that I read quickly because I loved it. It was a good book. So basically, it's a story of a girl. She goes on a field trip. She's in high school. They like go to this like party. It's not like a party.
Should we say real quick? Both of these books are about like puberty things.
Yes.
FYI. Yep. So this is what we're reading about.
So it really did kind of put me in the mindset. Like, in the one part, they're like, yeah, grown-ups always say, like, when a girl's mean to you, like, she's just jealous. Mm-hmm. And then they were talking about how, like, yeah, you know, my mom says that, and it's like, obviously she's not jealous of me. She, like, well, and they, like, get into it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, oh, maybe Vanessa's interpreting that as the way your parents are supposed to talk to your kids, because it did remind me like perspective a lot. Like, this girl really wanted a pet and her parents were like, no about a pet. So I was like thinking maybe Vanessa was just I don't know what I was thinking. We really messed up this week, but so I have like my bullet points. I'll just go over really quick.
It's not, I mean, we didn't mess up. We read another book. So what?
Yeah.
And now maybe I should listen to this book, huh?
Yeah.
You liked it.
It was good. Well, so it is a story. Like, it is like a high school. Well, no, she's not even in high school, because I didn't know that in New York, you have to like apply to high schools. Really? According to the story. So I don't know if it's a fiction story or if that's legit. but they're in
maybe
middle
like
school.
prep schools and like.
So the one girl got into like her private school of her choice, and the other two were going for this like more elite public school, and they ended up like passing and getting into it and stuff. But it just kind of shows you like the stressors, and that was like kind of a big takeaway for me, is like when they're in a fight with their friends, when they're having these tests and stuff, like they're as stressed as adults stress about bills.
Yes.
Because that, it was like bringing it to the forefront of my brain. Like when they're upset about not having the outfit that they want to have clean, like, and it's throwing their day off, to me it's like, dude, who cares? Like, do your own freaking laundry then.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's in this book too, about like the stress.
Yeah, so I don't...
That they have. And I guess I don't really think of... Because I am easy to say, it's fine. It'll be over tomorrow. Like, Sally, Susie, whatever, is going to be your friend tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. And, I mean, I shouldn't do that. Because it is a big deal to them.
And this book, like, it didn't say anything about like how to talk to them or what to say, but it really put me in the perspective, like with the pet thing, their friendship fights. And in the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, I like love this friend, and then they get into a little bit of a friend fight, and then they make up, and it's like beautiful. It's a beautiful middle school like love situation, and the feelings when like she has her first crush and she's like, oh my gosh, did I just forget how to breathe? Like why can't I walk? Like this kind of stuff. And it's like I was kind of saying to myself like, no, like that girl's not your true friend. And then they like realize it, and it's like beautiful. So it was a good book if you want to read a story. So in the beginning, her sister passed away before the main character. Her sister passed away before she was born, and she only made it. Was she 7? Because she turns 14. So she's like, I made it double the age that my sister ever made it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Death to me now a little bit is kind of like when I had my miscarriage. So back at Victoria's Secret, I had my miscarriage. I like called and told you guys, and then I come in and find out like 3-4 other coworkers also had miscarriages, and it was like, wow, like, and even the one girl was like, yeah, like most people don't really like know, but like I did have a miscarriage. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, reading a book about death, I'm like, now that it happened to me, I like see how often it happens to other people. Obviously, everyone probably knows someone who's passed away, but I never had these feelings until it was someone so close to me that passed away.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I feel like it's not... It doesn't affect you when someone's not like super close to you, like someone that you don't see every day. Whereas like me, I've told you multiple times, like, I don't exactly know what to say because I haven't experienced death with like someone super close. So it's hard for me to like talk sometimes with you because I haven't experienced it. I haven't felt it. I have no idea what it feels like. Right?
And that's totally it. So in the book, she like pretends she like gives herself advice that she thinks her older, bigger, wiser sister, and she even says like, you know, she probably wouldn't live at home. Oh, she would be in her apartment, but after my first date I would call her. Maybe she would be sleeping over, like waiting up for me at home. And she kind of gives herself like pretend advice a little bit. And I said, this is kind of like my pretend Christmas last year. So last year at Christmas, one of my friends got us these really cute Nike matching shoes, and I wore them to Christmas, and I just kind of like pretended that my dad's like, oh my God, look at your new shoes. Like he would have been like, oh, let me see, like you're looking good, like new shoes. Like he would have hyped me up. Like my dad was hype the way Josh is like hype. Like my dad would have been like asking me about my Christmases with everyone else, and like saying, of course, like you and so would have these like matching Nikes, and he would just be like bragging it up so hard. Because when you get to they do Christmas on Christmas Eve, there's like appetizers out, and then a little while after the appetizers, we're there for like a couple hours, we have dinner. After dinner we do presents, so it's very much talking and mingling and interacting before the gift part. And he would have been totally like hyping me up. And I kind of pretended that he did. And I actually went outside. I mean, it's December and snowy and cold. And I sat on like a lawn chair and kind of pretended that like he was having a cigarette and we were like talking about, you know, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like pretend asking, like he would have asked like how my friend that gave me the shoes was doing and all this stuff. And I kind of pretended that he was asking me that stuff. So I was like, wow, you know, this is bringing up kind of a lot for me in the story, because I was like, it's totally relatable.
Yeah.
And so a little bit emotional, but I was like, it's so like good to know I'm not the only person that does that also. So it was like validating that way. I had like, so on the field trip, like someone says that peacocks mate for life. And then it like gets brought up later on in the story, blah, 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 whatever. And
I wonder, that's true, huh?
Is it?
I don't know.
I was guessing. Unless it's a fictional book.
Well, no, it probably is.
It probably.
What other animal? Is it penguins?
I don't know.
Or lobsters?
But Josh and I's original wedding theme was peacock.
Really?
Yeah, because you have the purples and the greens, and Josh's favorite color is green, and then like with the hints of gold. So my whole Pinterest board was like peacock theme. And again, it was like, oh my gosh, me like being emotional because it was like talking about her dead sister and then talks about this. I was like, oh my god.
I had a friend in high school that had peacocks as pets.
Really?
Yeah. They had like 3 peacocks.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I wanted like peacock feathers as my like bouquet, in my like centerpieces, all this stuff. And then it boiled down to, we did green and purple, but it was like lavender and sage.
Got it.
And we still had like the gold accents. It just wasn't like peacock.
Yeah.
But all the inspiration was like from peacocks.
That's cute.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that makes me feel like so cute and whatever. I'm just looking at my notes here for a second. Oh, in the book she says we do activities now. I don't remember the last time we just played, and that really, you know, hit me in the heart, because I was like, wow.
So like playing as a kid?
So she's talking about like her friends in volleyball or friends in baseball, like, and they go to activities. Like they go to like watch a movie. They don't just like play with Barbies.
I feel like that, like, I don't know who I was talking to this about, but I feel like kids just grow up so fast nowadays. And they don't get to play and have that. I mean, we talked about it that one time, have the imagination and like imaginary friends and just like, I don't know, just being able to play a board game or play with dolls, or kids don't do that much anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids still kind of do. Like, I think Sawyer has an older friend who's my friend's daughter. And like, she's 2 years older than Sawyer, I think. And when they get together, like, they actually play.
Yeah.
And I think the older girl almost feels like relieved. Like, we just get to be kids and play and have fun and not sit on our phone and chat this person and do all this and make TikToks and things like that. And I know, like, Sawyer really loves that.
Yeah. So. I think Brooklyn, when we don't bring her iPad to like last night, we went to a fire. The girls were on the trampoline. Then they did watch a movie, but they're like playing, because she is like a play girl, which is good, because I feel like, you know, in other play situations, it's like iPads, blah, blah. And so it's really like, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so strict with Brooklyn about TV time. Maybe I should have kept that. Yeah. But also, maybe it wouldn't be, you know, some kids, all kids are different, but I can tell the kids where my kids play with them, and I can tell the kids where they're kind of moving on from that already. And our kids are so young, and I feel like my like grandma would say, like, people always like said when I was younger, kids just grow up so fast nowadays, and now I'm like, You all said
Now
that
you
about
feel
me.
that. Now you feel it so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all said that about me. These are like 7-year-olds trying to be on TikTok. Elena sometimes embarrasses me a little. She's like, I'm a TikTok girl. Let me do a TikTok. And she doesn't have TikTok. And some parents, I think, scroll through TikTok with their kids. Like, my kids, I don't do that. I'm like, this is adults.
But now with TikTok, so I feel like they have like YouTube Reels.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what is the difference? You know what I mean? Like, I don't totally understand. Because when Peyton was watching TV with me yesterday, she turned on, I want to say YouTube Reels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not listening to this. You don't need to watch this. Like, I hate YouTube. I take YouTube away quite often. But so what is the difference? Can you put TikToks on the YouTube Reels? Yeah. So, I mean, See? And like Facebook, you get TikTok Reels on Facebook.
A lot of the TikTok people, I think, do also repurpose. I mean, I do it. Some of the videos that I post are on Instagram Reels and on TikTok. Yeah. But a lot of the YouTubers talk about TikTok. Like, Elena watches, like, Rebecca Zamalo, and she, like, talks about TikTok stuff and TikTok dances and TikTok whatever. So, it's like, I mean, I just like that she said that, like, when was the last time we played? I was like, yeah. My other thing was they're saying how they were going to different high schools and they wanted to like stay best friends. And Brooklyn is going to intermediate school next year, and her little friend, like I shouldn't say little friend, she gets mad, but I'm like, well, you guys are like little and friends. Little friend. And she's like a small, like she's like little. So, Brooklyn's just so tall too. But
Brooklyn is very tall.
They are going to different intermediate schools, and they were talking about wanting to stay best friends, and the book brought that up about going to different high schools and wanting to stay best friends. And I was like, really, at this age, like, it's the parents that have to make sure that they still get like play dates and stuff. Because Brooklyn said to me one time, like, the only friends that stay with me are the friends that I have at school, because when I meet a kid at a park or at a library and you get their phone number, I never play with them again. And I'm like, it's on me, I guess.
Well, it is, but it sometimes... Yeah. I'm not good with play dates. You're great with play dates.
I'm not that good.
You have like a play date almost once a week with some mom?
I guess.
I'm just an awkward human. Like, I am not good in social circumstances, like, situations. I come off, like, very rude and bitchy, I feel, because I'm just so shy.
I think you just...
So I internalize that. Like, Peyton will come home with a phone number. I don't do anything with it half the time. And every day they can bother me about it. And then the phone number gets lost. I did this with just one of her friends. Peyton brought me the phone number twice. And I didn't... Hey, party!
On YouTube, I don't know how to get rid of those. So there's just balloons all over the screen.
Yeah, and so twice she brought home that phone number, and I did not do anything with it. And then we lost it. And then I finally saw the mom, because Peyton would bother me, like, every day about it. And then I saw the mom at, like, some family night thing at Sunset or Funset, whatever. And then I got her number. But have I texted her? Nope.
See, the school district I go to is just different.
I also feel like I'm a burden. No. Like, I don't, like, people have lives. I don't want to interrupt their life and be like, hey, Peyton wants a play date. Also, I worry about how Peyton will act.
Mm-hmm. See, other moms are good at, like, reaching out to me at, like, the school that we go to. And I do kind of worry, like, oh my gosh, is she going to be good? But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to end up at this park, whether I'm going to end up at a park, a library, a McDonald's Playland, whether I'm with another mom or not. So I'm like, screw it. Like, if my kids are going to know these kids, like, yeah, I guess I do probably do play dates, like, once a week.
Yeah. But I also have such social anxiety that I, like, internalize. Like, if I leave talking to someone, I internalize every freaking thing that I said. I'm like, why the hell did I say that? Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. And then my face turns red, and I'm just like...
Sometimes I'm like, I'm a way oversharer. I can talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, why the frick did I just say that? Like, weird.
But yesterday I had Josh's like picnic thing at work, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, are all these other all the other wives gonna be like skinnier than me, prettier than me? What kind of outfits are they wearing? How casual is it? Are we doing a full face of makeup? What kind of shoes should I wear?
Yeah, that would stress me out.
And
too.
then I like messaged one of my friends. I was like, I'm so nervous. And she's like, it sounds like you're manifesting that. She said, it sounds like it's something that you made up in your head. She's like, you're beautiful. You're a great mom. You're a great wife. Just go.
Yeah.
And then I was like gonna text Josh and be like, is it okay that I wear a crop top? Like, are you embarrassed? Like, I was gonna like send him outfit ideas, and I just did.
I would have done the same thing.
I just put on my like white crop with a bra, my jean shorts that kind of ride up in the middle, and put some lotion between my legs so hopefully I didn't chafe, and whatever. Put mascara on and went, and it was fine. But then, so he had to work during like. They got paid to like go to it, but not the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids weren't ready to leave when he had to go back to work.
Yeah.
And apparently people were saying like, oh, I saw your wife. Josh was like, I don't even know how these people know who you are. And I was like, well, now I'm like, hopefully they weren't like, oh, Josh's fat wife. Like,
oh, stop it.
But I was like, it's fine. I said I didn't send you outfit pictures.
I wanted to go back to that. If you sent him outfit pictures, would he have been like, who you trying to look good for? Or like, why do you gotta like impress these people? Would he have said something
probably
like that? Yeah,
but he said,
so
good thing you didn't text me. I was working. And I was like, you would have responded to me. Don't act like you don't text at work. You do.
For sure.
But okay, next week we are gonna actually read. Yeah, that's all I really had. It was only a 6-hour book.
Oh yeah.
But next week, this is so.
And I really liked this book, but I like factual, and I don't know.
It's 13 hours. The other book was like 6 hours. So.
And I think we will have a lot of dialogue for that book because we're in the thick of it right now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say thick. We're in the beginning part with our children.
The thick of it as these preteens.
I can't stop singing those kid songs lately, so that's why.
Well, because think about it, like Brooklyn is into the thick of it.
I can't stop saying that in my head.
Brooklyn's like 10 now, so I'm like preteen. Basically a teen.
I reread a little bit last night of like one part of the book because it hit me hard, so I wanted to have like a good reaction, and I'm freaking out, a little inside spiraling about things in that book. So just wait.
I'm
Maybe
ready
it's different because I have a boy, but I don't think so. Because we've kind of talked about some things already.
Yeah.
Just wait.
I'm a little bit nervous. This was good, but it did kind of have me in my feels. Yeah. So now I'm like, how's that gonna? Because is that gonna make me?
It's kind of cool because it's their like her.
Yeah.
So you get to kind of like think about how a child is feeling.
Yeah. So I'm wondering like, well, and at one point she like slams the door. She's like, and her mom was like basically saying like she's never seen or acted like this, blah blah blah. And she's saying I've never felt these feelings before.
I wish I would have showed you my notes. That's the first sign of puberty is slamming a door and like moodiness.
So yeah. I'm going to probably be all in my feels and then being like second guessing because I do that when I read like stuff about how to be a better parent or like think this, not that, say this, not that. Then I'm like, boo.
Yeah.
So hopefully that book doesn't make me spiral too bad.
I mean, I wanted to wake John up like a million times and be like, John, we should be having this conversation. We should already be talking about this. He should already know about this.
There's another puberty book that I was going to have us read too.
Right.
So maybe we might rework our little books around. But
yeah, I need help because I don't know how to deal with Sawyer right now.
Yeah.
And his moodiness. And he's definitely going through it.
The other one is
and
like
Peyton will be far behind if not already started.
Yeah. Ugh. The other one is like a you, yourself, and you or something like that. Okay. And I'm like, I think it's like a girl book because this person that I follow, her mom had her read it as a teenager. So I wanted to pre-read it and potentially add it to Brooklyn's book list and kind of start in on those. So If you have teenage book recs, we'll gladly take them. For us or for the teens.
Teens, tweens.
Because John Acuff just wrote another book with his daughters, too.
Oh, yeah, you sent that to me.
Yeah. And they just recorded the audiobook, so I don't know when it comes out.
What is it about?
I don't even know. But I like his books, so they're factual. They're like tangible tips. He's been on a few podcasts that I've listened to the episodes for.
That was soundtracks, right?
Yeah. All right, we love you. Talk to you Wednesday.
Bye.